Today we will break down the powerful disease of addiction and how it affects every area of our lives, especially in teens. Hi, I'm the Libra Man. Welcome to my channel. Teens feel a lot of peer pressure, may it be from school, from their peers themselves, from home. They feel pressure all the time, feeling that pressure in a brain that is not yet fully developed. Since that brain isn't fully developed, it's a lot easier for influences in outer things or inner things to come and affect that brain. Dopamine is a molecule that comes from the brain. This is pleasure and satisfaction when we have something in our bodies that we feel is pleasurable, satisfaction to us, or feels good. But one of the things we have to realize is that the brain is also tricked at times because of what goes in our body. If we take medicine from the doctor, the medicine from the doctor is for us to help us. So a lot of times, if drugs and alcohol come in our body, it is tricked for dopamine to come to us because it is not distinguishing the difference between something that makes us feel good and something that is good for us. So that's what we have to realize. And that's what we have to take care of when we are trying to do other substances, do different things. We have to remember that part. We have to remember that dopamine affects us in that way. It's like we can have an addiction to, say, video games or reading, but that's a positive addiction. It can be negative at times, but more likely it's a positive addiction. And it won't register the same amount of dopamine that goes to you than it would from someone that was using drugs or doing something different. We have a hierarchy of needs of certain things that we need. We need food, we need water, and we need sleep. The disease of addiction will have the drugs and alcohol overtaking the number one spot on those hierarchy of needs because in our minds we feel like we have to have them and that we need them. But we don't. There's a difference between things that we like and things that we are addicted to. Things that we are addicted to will have constant thoughts about it. It'll feel like we can't do without them. And they normally will lead to negative consequences. And despite the negative consequences, we still will want to do them. We have to keep our hierarchy of needs in place. And we have to make sure that we don't allow drugs and alcohol to overtake our mind, body, and our soul. Because addiction is a physical, mental, and spiritual disease that affects every area of our lives. Just because we're not addicted to drugs does not mean that we don't have some type of addiction. It could be food, it could be drinks, it could be going places, it could be shopping, gambling. Those are addictions. That addictions have in common, once we start that process without help, we lose our ability to stop. And that's what this video is about. It's about letting you know about the disease of addiction, that it is a disease that is not just attached to using drugs and alcohol. A lot of times with addicts, we find that out when we stop using drugs and alcohol and we're still acting the same way. We might not still be using drugs, but we're still doing a lot of other things because we have a disease of addiction. And if we put down a drug and alcohol and leave all of that empty time, all of that space, all of that time we was using drugs, now we take that away, other things are going to come in. And we got to make sure the things that come in are positive things and not negative things. We can't let that dopamine come to us and rush through our body and say, oh, this makes me feel good. Because there's a difference between what feels good and what is good for you. If you like this video, hit that like button. Give me comments. I'm open to all comments. I'm open to explore anything that has to do with self-help. Bye for now.